is really noticeable. That's how much the banshee is psychotic monitoring. There's so many that are many out there of various numerous types and degrees are utterly freaks. Numerous numbers of whether many out there are various types and degrees of freaks. Whether entities have no senses, it's either dead, or whether a comma single lock, and whether they're not here. Remotely doesn't check is simply factual term. Whether it doesn't check is factual term. It seems like they have that cerebral cells inside of them. The cerebral, they have a lot of cerebral, whether considerable amount, whether they have cerebral, whether that cerebral cells, and these are the ones generating these googly ideas. By googly, that's really a downplay. It could be considered of. In order to succeed, in order for us to accomplish that, we have to do how much? We have to write so many essays, and it ends up given to the criminals anyways, while those ones just stays there. And what the heck is all the CNN reporters doing? They're so behind on the facts, man. There's nobody running these Coca-Cola, Walmart companies. Bunch of persons hiding behind fonts, persons that are brave, persons lacking all the quality, whether the entity is lacking, whether personnel or some kind of fictional character was an entity amongst other words, lacking the qualities. What have those qualities? But that's not quality. That's just dysfunction and uselessness. I could, if these want to test whether how much others could beat them in these, whether even talent's named to it. Like this Coke bottle can be talented. Fixate onto the correct version of words, buddy. I'm actually really nice. They're actually having a field day. Suppose it was some other ruler, they would directly jail them. Because it was too much dangerous, right? Suppose I didn't maneuver, having to organ maneuver, I wouldn't be here. By the way, some of the punishments are really going to be using joints and suckage and sucking the cerebral out of their 7 holes. Not kidding around here. Well, I'm too nice. I'm not gonna, unless it's reasonable, unless for vengeance, which is, even vengeance is a bit distant to a reason, huh? But I may have the frenzy mode. If I accidentally shoot them with AK-47, albeit they'll be gone, and I hope every government assesses the possible danger, not necessarily assessing whether some person from my ranking is going to directly death me, but rather if there's some problems with it, and whether there's comma or related words, rather of whether related words are related to from minorly inclined, whether to moderate, and whether moderately in with whether probability of which and whether the probability with related words. But similar to noticing the effect on goals. Degens is simply spreading. We have to keep producing videos, pursue, and we get labeled as right wing. What the fuck is all that threats like right wing? You're gonna chop the wing off of an eagle or something? You talk about right wing, left wing, understanding it so much, and you being a terrorist? These should be microwaved. We should begin isolating them, invite them to the new camps, and start sending these into these oven chambers, and turn on the knob at midnight, and watch these fillet themselves onto CNN trying to loosen the pain. It's not the pain, it's not really pain. There are animations, there are animation malls. Who knows what they are? There are 3 types of animation malls. Ones that are bipedal, or the ones shaped like human, and the ones that are currently dressed human, and the ones crawling on the floor. Or similar to crawling, they don't crawl fast. Well, they may learn how to crawl fast. We might have percentage of those. If it's 1%, it's not really the amount of number that's going to measure. If there's one type of the species, we're going to market this species. Freaks. This place is filled with freaks. How to get it done right? I produce so much, it doesn't move. There's nobody here wanting to help Hitler. Notice some word to mention some person's gone. When no person's gone, nobody. Nobody. Speaking about body. If it's me speaking about body, that's alright. If it's Taylor Swift speaking about cool bodies, he might be joining some gravedigger trial. But for these ones to talk about body, motherfucker, you're out of your non-Asian mind, you stupid freak. And why you stupid hoe? You lousy, nasty freak. And I hope you anti-Hitlers. Recently, there can be generalizations, not entire sets, nor is entire dysfunction trait of those of anti-Hitlerists. I like to dig my fingers into your holes and have fun. Feature that on CNN. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Even Henry Kissinger approves of what I mentioned. And we certainly have the nukes, and how exciting is it to have nukes? To be able to bomb them, to be able to bomb them in the morning by surprise, to be able to bomb them in the afternoon, to be able to bomb them in the evening, to be able to bundle them together by shaping them a new map with the nuclear bombs. Or even the minimum amount of nukes to spell the F word is 6. Okay. To spell maybe that pixel type, and nuclear bombs tend to blast, it's fairly rare. Unless there's some hills or something, usually those places not filled so much with those. Although, what's your guess? Should we bomb? Or should we bomb our own headquarters? It's called headquarters. It's like the road ahead to headquarters. Don't you want to bomb that? Sounds like a great idea too. Maybe we'll bomb our own children. Nah. Just bomb the thugs, and we virtually bomb our own children. Maybe bombing the zomberists represents bombing our own children. So there it does it. Speaking of chemical weapons, chemical weapons in a way is hacking into it's not really life forms had a thought, nor hijacked corpses. Still retains these foundations. There are some doors left and haven't been used yet, and we shall be the first to enter, which is these harmonic similar chemicals that these giant transformers really check, and will react to it as if it were real, as if it were self-produced, or if suitable and suitable take. Comparatives and suitable take probable better live. Remember, guys and whether these are criminals. They have to be punished, guys. If we don't have the orientation to potentially lose nuclear bombs, we're gonna lose this, man. These are number based. If we don't perform in quality, the number base is gonna be so many. I'm just one guy. Folks shouldn't worry about how I'm going to possibly kidnap their wife on television. I can only kidnap one per day, probably. So what's dangerous out there is really the 7 billion. And plus, ditch all the words, guys. Check out the motive, not the words. Words can be anything. Putin today is beautiful. Putin, you're a rat. Or I'm gonna kill you all. And gee, man, you look nice today. It's language being a giant substitution. Who is genuine here? Right? Himmler is genuine. Hitler is genuine. And usually validating such as a bit extra added participation. But what's that indicating sort of better? And certainly I does it better. And how honorable am I? As one of the optional gestures probably could be. I think I'm not too honorable, but I'm the one that actually have a solution. So persons are gonna respect me on that credit. Even on their intellectual side of the academia as well, the entire academia is filled with these freaks, man. Freaks that are, when it's a freak, probably level 1 freak is when the freak sort of understands self as a freak and still being a freak, or rather, is a bit of a freak. And these ones are like ultra level freaks. Doesn't understand self as a freak. How does somebody does that yet have logic and still spews out these factual churning spewage, or what amongst other words, and yet names it as an article? No proportion of stuff, no senses. Some of them maybe a bit a factor being we trick them or something, because we act like we're some guardian going to tell them stuff. So there's that factor there. I do sincerely take in the matter and taken into account enough. Notice how reasonable I am. I offer this much to them. These doesn't return. These doesn't return. Suppose it went for a group effort of hiding me, right? Mentioning even about Jeebus. It's like it's not really Jeebus, it's just me that's going to solve this. Suppose it wasn't all that hiding, what would the result be? They would be going after me. But they're no longer going to, in fact. I think with life it's a ruthless struggle. we are ruthless. In fact, even our research mentioned about us not being ruthless. Are you kidding me? We already knew that. We already knew this place is a matrix. We're just telling them there. It's like, oh, we newly discovered it's a matrix. Life is only deprivation. It's maximum deprivation. If you're here to go through the problems, and you have to, and there's almost infinite. The pit is bottomless. The sky is a limit. The sky has a limit. Has a fair distance. When fair distance on whether they're compared to infinite bottomless, which force to serve to whether GOAD God or whether comparative metaphor reason to be whether metaphor that the bubbles to be also with the reason that not necessarily another object whether not to say whether of we already knew this is a matrix. Just getting those, noticing us that's the way it is, but that's not how the righteous forces works. There's probably more than me, and therefore not so much characters, whether animations and whether characters, but forces assisting. For this video instance or whether videos. That's it for this video, whether that's it for this video, whether that's it for it, whether that's it for this video instance.